I don't think I've seen a lot of Greninjas in the lead in general. Let's see what. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice. I don't really need to take out the Charizard. Oh gosh, don't do this to me, game. Oh, that's so bad. That's not good. Well, we don't know what they have in the back, but if I win this game, I don't know what to say. Okay. Still in this match. Oh, they really try and take advantage of this lag. I have no idea how much energy they have, though. Okay. So, the funny part is, as much as they're trying to cheese me and make the most out of this matchup, now our switch timers are back up. Because they spent so long in this matchup, Charizard into Jellicent. Karma. Alright. We're chilling here. They're locked in too. Watch this be Flash Cannon. Oh, it is a Flash Cannon one. Wow. Please, let's go. Alright, well that Charizard has not many places to go. Could be a Tapu Fini. It's a very likely combination. Okay. Just gotta farm as much as possible. Whoa, what? That's a weird swap. It's probably Blast Burn. I don't know how much energy they have. Okay. That's fine. I feel like it's Tapu Fini. I'm gonna let this go. I don't know if that was a smart idea or not. Well, at least we didn't shield. It's not Tapu Fini, it's Virizion, but... Please don't be Leaf Blade. Oh, this is awkward. I need to grab a shield here. Oh, Stone Edge, huge. Okay. I need to put this in Hydro Cannon range. I don't know if I can or not. I think I just go straight for the Surf. I need to go straight for the Surf, I think. Okay. They're probably not expecting this, but again, I'm winning CMP. And I pretty much double Hydro Cannon. It's tricky. I think I need to be able to live a Sacred Sword. Oh, dude. Yo. Tried to beat me with the lag, but not able to do it. I'm telling you, man. This team is pretty solid. I literally closed the app and restarted it. Yo. The funniest part is their profile picture on Twitter is a Greninja. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I've been away in Japan, so I haven't been able to play too much of Ultra League or any of the leagues lately. But with the release of Greninja, I just had to give it a shot. And personally, I think it's probably a little bit too frail to use in Great League. I know some content creators have been putting out content with it, but I think it's particularly good in Ultra League. So I decided to give it a shot, and overall, I've been very pleased. It is a little bit hard to play at times, but I think the coverage is really nice and can be a huge core breaker for a lot of teams. I've been trying to make Shadow Nidoqueen work in Ultra League all season. I've had 2 different variations of this team already, but I decided to change it up yet again. With Shadow Nidoqueen in the lead, it covers a lot of Greninja's weaknesses, and then Greninja covers a lot of Shadow Nidoqueen's weakness. And then Jellicent, as one of the stronger safe swaps in Ultra League at the moment, I think is very, very strong in that second position. Before we get into the battles, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. I've been going pretty much positive in every single battle, or every single set I should say, and this is actually my first time using Greninja, so I was actually at the airport, and funny enough, I faced Greninja right off the bat. And interesting enough too, most of my losses are actually to Greninja teams. Obviously, if you look at my team, I don't have very great checks to opposing Greninja as well. So obviously, I had to stay in this matchup because I really don't want Greninja on my Jellicent. And at the time, I didn't really even know the counts on this thing, so I didn't realize that it had so much energy at this point in time. But either way, able to get a full farm down with my own Greninja, which is quite nice. And they come in with Cresselia, so this is not too bad for me. I think I could tank one Moonblast or one Grass Knot, but not two. So I swap over to my Jellicent, see what they have in the back, and Shields down Jellicent is going to be pretty nice. They actually do a great catch onto Giratina, although ends up still being the move of choice, so it didn't really make too much of a difference. But we are going to get some value in this matchup. I'm going to overfarm a little bit just because I know they can't cycle cut me down, and that energy is going to force my opponent to throw their moves a little sooner than they probably want to. And yeah, we get hit by the Grass Knot. But we have a ton of energy on Greninja, and Water Shuriken, one of the fastest energy generating fast moves, is going to be pretty nice in this situation. It's actually essentially the equivalent of Bullet Seed or Snarl as examples, except it's a water move and does one less damage than those. But overall, still really good, especially when you have something like Hydro Cannon at your disposal. Alright, Cresselia in the lead. So I played a few more battles at this point in time, so I kind of know how the team runs a little bit. And again, Jellicent is such a strong safe swap in Ultra League. There's very few things that completely wall it off. Obviously, Greninja being one of them, but even the Shadow Balls still start adding up. So my opponent does come in with the Registeel. Some Registeel have been running Flash Cannon and Zap Cannon, so that's something to watch out for if you are using the Nidoqueen. I'm going to farm up a little bit extra, and then they get to another move. So obviously I have to throw energy to take this out, but I decided to swap to my Greninja instead, now that I know that they're mostly energy dry. Alright, I'm going to let Cheggy go. You can still check out Cranberry though in the back if you want to see some cats. But yeah, so I decided to pivot straight over to my Greninja, and this is not too bad for me. Especially shields up, right? It's going to be better for me over the long course time. And I'm going to throw another nice slash, and then we get the boost, which is very nice. And then they have a Charizard. So Greninja definitely being a core breaker for this backline, which is super nice. And again, getting to move super quickly is very nice. And I'm going to go for the combo play. I go for the Poison Fang, and then I actually press on the Earth Power, but they actually throw their move at the same time. So it ends up being CMP, but I'll just worry about a potential catch. So I definitely want to throw that to try to take out the Registeel, but no catch. And we are able to Water Shuriken down 2 Pokemon, and they quit out before the Registeel sees the Greninja. Alright. Escavalier. Definitely a core breaker for this team. Very strong into Nidoqueen. Very strong into Greninja. I guess Greninja has some neutral play, but the counter damage just adds up pretty quickly. Greninja definitely is a little bit more bulky in Ultra League. Actually, I didn't even realize this, but you actually require XL candies for it. So that being said, we are going to shield up against this Politoed. I figured they're very unlikely to bait me at this point, so I'm going to just do what I can to try to take out this Politoed or swap back over to the Nidoqueen. And they end up letting it go, so that's pretty nice for me. I think I live a drill run, yeah. So I'm gonna go straight for the Shadow Ball. It should knock out, but they might shield. I have energy on my Nidoqueen, and we get to Earth Power. I think it's a CMP, but either way, that's not a big deal. I just need to get rid of this Escavalier. I could potentially permanently debuff whatever's in the back. Ends up being a Galarian Stunfisk, which is, it's okay. But getting this Poison Fang off is nice because he can't swap out to clear it. I bring in the Jellicent to force them to throw their energy, so they can't have a ton of energy to throw out my Greninja. And then I just throw one Hydro Cannon, and I should be enough. Greninja is very attack weighted, so you're typically going to win CMP against many things in Ultra League. Maybe not like a Zangoose, but no one really runs Zangoose, right? Alright, so Shadow Swampert lead. Again, not the cleanest with Greninja because the Earthquake is very threatening, and you can't one-shot with Hydro Cannon. But they do have to land Earthquake, so you do have that going for you. And then my opponent swaps in with a Wall Rain. That's fine. My guess is that Jellicent is quite the core breaker for this team, so it definitely has a lot of value. I think I'm going to just let this go and just hex down, get a full farm down. No, I guess I throw the Surf. Maybe I just didn't want to get hit by Icicle Spear. I don't know. Maybe I could have gone for the full farm down. I might have just lost track of their counts. That being said, I'm going to bait the Shadow Ball. We grab a shield, which is nice. We force them to throw their energy. Now I come in Greninja, and I'm going to go straight for the Hydro Cannon. Let's see if they shield this or not, and they end up no shielding, which is huge for me. And then, as you can see in the back end, Greninja being the core breaker for that Giratina. Yeah, so obviously, they probably expected a bait, but it's not that much more energy using the Hydro Cannon over the Night Slash, so we're in a pretty solid position. Alright, Galarian Stunfisk lead, obviously pretty bad, but Noctowl is kind of wild. That is pretty wild. I did not expect to see that in Ultra League. It is going to be pretty good into this Jellicent. I do force a shield from it, which is pretty important. But I think that might be it. So we do force them to throw the Sky Attack, but this puts me in an awkward position. They actually swap over to their Jellicent, which is not too bad for me. I think arguably the better play, looking back on this, is I should just stay in Nidoqueen into this Jellicent, because I don't have really any play Nidoqueen into that Galarian Stunfisk. So I might as well do a little bit of damage with, you know, Earth Power to weaken this Jellicent, right? So probably a slight misplay on my end. And then they come in with the Noctowl. I'm going to optimize, and they let it go. And then another misplay by me. I think I try to go for double and Night Slash, but the Mud Shot takes me out. I should just concentrate Hydro Cannon. I figured they're probably going to shield, but they didn't end up shielding. I do shield an Earthquake, but problem is I just get outpaced even if I land this bait. So that being said, my opponent recognizes this, shields. It's a pretty safe shield for them, and we're going to get taken out. So a few misplays by me in that game. I mean, I think it was going to be a hard game for me to win in general, but I think it was potentially winnable depending on how I played that out. But well played by my opponent for sure. Against the Dragonite leads, I'd like to swap over to the Jellicent right after laying the Poison Vein, because with Night Slash, you should have decent coverage for even the Dragonite, especially at that health range. The opponent actually throws a Hurricane, which is kind of wild. So did not expect that for sure. But we somehow get to 3 Surf before getting knocked out, and we somehow still win Switch, which is absolutely massive for me. And now I'm going to just shield, because now I could permanently debuff whatever's in the back. And let's see what it is. Ends up being a Toxicroak. I'm going to go straight for the Earth Power because I want to land a Hydro Cannon. They no shield, and that's GG's. Poliwrath. Poliwrath is an interesting one. Definitely very, very strong into Greninja, walling off the entire moveset. I'm going to let this go because I know it's not a Scald. You could definitely take an Ice Punch, and then my opponent comes in with their Gliscor. I'm going to go straight for this Hydro Cannon. No shield. That's fine. Because I have Jellicent, which is a hard wall to that Poliwrath. So I'm not really worried about Poliwrath getting a lot of energy. Jellicent's going to resist everything this Poliwrath can throw at it, regardless of the movesets. And yes, we're in a pretty good spot. And we force a shield from them. So that's going to be really nice. And let's not forget, we have a bunch of energy on that Nidoqueen on top of that. So they're going to go for the Scald. At this point, we're in a pretty commanding position. We can just go straight for the Earth Power. Potential shield Focus Blast. They throw Zap Cannon, which not bad because I didn't get debuffed, so definitely working out in my favor. But again, and getting the debuff on my end, which is very, very nice. I'm just going to shield because yeah, I could come in Jellicent, but the short term is not up, so I guarantee that I take out this Registeel, and then now we have the Jellicent for the Poliwrath, and they're going to quit out there. Giratina Altered, not the best, but there's pros and cons. Dragon Breath is going to be better for Jellicent. Shadow Claw is going to be better for Greninja. And in the lead situation, you kind of want to see Shadow Claw because most likely they swap out, and you can match your Greninja into it later. My opponent is going to shield though, and they end up coming with a Charmer. I think it's a lower Ninetales. And this is not good because in my head, I'm thinking, all right, Giratina lead with Shadow Claw and then a Charmer low Ninetales. This is probably double Charm strategies. Because of that, I'm going to shield because I'm expecting it to be maybe like a Sylveon or a Clefable in the back with Charm. And we do catch on the Greninja, which is kind of nice. I'm going to farm up a little extra energy. But then they come in with the Sylveon and they shield the Sylveon, which I was a little surprised by at first, but I think it makes sense. And here's why I make a misplay. I thought the Poison Fang when I have the Earth Power. Yes, the debuff is nice, but I still do another move before they get to Side Shock. The better play for me, in my opinion, is throw the Earth Power and try to Poison Jab down before they get to move, because Earth Power is going to do a little bit more, even though it's not super effective. So kind of a mistake by me. Potentially winnable. I mean, that's a really tough backline for Greninja, but I think there potentially is some play. All right, Tapu Fini with Shadow Drapion, and then apparently they have a Steelix in the back. So this is one of my old teams. So cool to see a lot of people still running it. I actually saw it quite a few times this Ultra League rotation. If they were to shield that Earth Power, I was going to come in straight away with Greninja, because they threw Aqua Tail, which means that in almost all likelihood, the second move is Crunch and not Sludge Bomb, so Greninja should wall off that entire moveset. Jellicent is actually pretty strong into that Tapu Fini, so I'm not too worried. And then they're going to throw a Crunch. Again, I should be okay. And then they try to catch. Unfortunately, not able to get the catch. And then now we're in a pretty strong position at this point in time. I could theoretically no shield a Moonblast as well, so I'm not going to shield it. They do go straight Moonblast though, and that's going to do a good chunk of damage. But my whole goal is to put this Tapu Fini in Hydro Cannon range, and pretty much at this point in time, it is. So I am not going to shield this again. They go Moonblast back to back, which is kind of wild. Yeah, my Greninja has way too much health remaining, and they're actually running the Shadow Steelix variation instead of the non-Shadow. But Greninja able to clean it up, and like I said, going positive in almost all my sets, and doing really, really well still, and climbing past the 3K mark. Overall, I gotta say that Greninja is a pretty strong addition, especially to Ultra League. I don't know so much for Master League, and Great League is kind of iffy in my opinion, but I think for Ultra League it's really going to thrive, and as you can see, able to core break a lot of teams. It is definitely on the frail end, but hey, I was using Zangoose a few weeks ago, so I mean, it doesn't get more frail than that. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share. I personally will be heading to GoFest for New York this week, so if you're there, feel free to come find me. I will be most likely around the Battle Arena area for most of the days of GoFest, Friday through Sunday, so feel free to say hello if you're there. And as always, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time.